Alright, today we're moving on to a new unit, which is equations. We've been doing expressions which did not have an equal sign. Today we're starting on equations, which does have an equal sign. Alright, the main thing we're going to do today is equations with addition in them, but we're also going to mix in a little bit of subtraction, a little bit of multiplication, a little bit of division. So first thing we got to look at, equation has an equal sign. So I'm going to write an equation down here at the bottom just so we can kind of refer to it. It's going to be x plus 2 equals 5. And in your head you can solve this problem. That's not a big deal. It's a simple one. It's a mental math one, but I'm going to show you how to do it the proper way so that when it gets to bigger ones you know how to do it the correct way. Second thing we need to know today is a variable is the letter in a math problem. So in this math problem, I have the same one up here as the example. It's pointing at x as the variable. So in this problem down here, the variable is x. Well, step 3 is to isolate the variable. To isolate the variable, you have to get it by itself. So I'll show you a bunch of dots here and then one dot off to the side all by itself. It's isolated. So to isolate, we use the opposite function. Well, the function that we have right now happen in this problem is addition. So the opposite of addition would be subtraction. So to get x by itself, we have to do the opposite of what's happening to it. So right now, it's being added to. So we need to do the opposite. So whatever is being added to it, we have to subtract from it, and we have to do that to both sides of the equal sign. So right here it's x plus 2, so we have to do minus 2. And then also whatever we do over here with the variable side, we have to do on the non-variable side. So we have to do minus 2 here. This plus 2 and this minus 2 cancel each other out. The x, we bring it down. It's still left. Now we have over here the 5 minus 2, but before we do that, the equal sign is still there, so we bring it down. And then 5 minus 2 is 3. So all that stuff brought down is x equals 3. I believe that's my answer, but in order to know correctly, I add it back in the problem. So now I have x plus 2 equals 5, so I'm going to rewrite it. I'm going to take, because x equals 3 is what I found out, I'm going to take the x out, put 3 in. 3 plus 2 equals 5. And that is a correct math sentence, so I know I got my answer correct. Got a couple more. I can do x plus 11 equals 27. And this is a little bit bigger problem. Some of you can do it mental math, some of you may not. But either way, you can figure out this problem by doing it on the same steps we did over here. So it's got an equal sign. I know it's an equation. I can solve for the variable. And that's what I'm trying to do every time. I'm trying to solve for the variable. I want to find out what number that variable is representing. So I come back over here to it. So I want to know what x equals. So the second thing I'm going to do, figured out the variable. It's x again. I need to get it by itself. To get it by itself, I have to use the opposite function. So I'll come back over here. We're using addition, so the opposite function is going to be subtraction. It's being added 11, so I've got to subtract 11 from both sides. These two cancel out. X comes down. Equal sign comes down. 27 minus 11. 7 minus 1 is 6. 2 minus 1 is 1. So x equals 16. The last thing I've got to do is check my work. So I go back to the original. It's x plus 11 equals 27. So I'm going to try 16 plus 11 equals 27. And that adds up to be correct. So my answer works. Going to work on another one. I'm going to show you that you can do this with subtraction. You can also do it with multiplication. You can also do it with division. So if I have subtraction, x minus 4 equals 12. Same thing. Got to do the opposite. So the opposite of minus 4 is going to be plus 4. Got to do this over here too. These two cancel out. Bring the x down. Bring the equal sign down. 12 plus 4 is 16. So is 16 minus 4 equal to 12? Yes, it is. So my answer is x equals 16. Do one with division. Y divided by 2 equals 4. So y is being divided by 2. I got to get y by itself. So I have to use the opposite function. So the opposite of divided by 2 is times 2. These two cancel out. Bring down y. Bring down my equal sign. 4 times 2 is 8. So I believe my answer is y equals 8. Let's plug it back in. Is 8 divided by 2 equal to 4? Yes, it is. So that answer checks out as well. Alright, the last one with multiplication. So I can do 4n equals 12. So right now, n is our variable. It's being multiplied by 4. So I got to do the opposite. So I've got to divide by 4. These 4's cancel out. I got to divide by 4 over here as well. N comes down. Equal sign comes down. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So our answer is n equals 3. Well, is 4 times 3 equal to 12? Yes, it is. So that checks out as well. So I'm going to do some example problems, and the biggest thing you need to be able to do is look at this page right here with the examples and make life easier on yourself. It's going to help you every step of the way just by remembering, you know, we've got an equal sign, so we're solving. We're solving for the variable, which is the letter in the math problem. In order to solve for it, you have to get it by itself. You have to isolate the variable. That's the whole point that we're doing here. As it gets harder, you're going to have multiple steps. You still have to isolate the variable. If you don't get it isolated, you're not going to get the answer correct. And you're going to isolate it by using the opposite function of what is happening to it at the time. So, I'm going to do a few example problems for you. I'm going to do m plus 3 equals 12. It's going to be the first one. Second one will be t minus 12 equals 13. Third one will be, let's see, w divided by 2 equals 14. And then the last one will be 7z equals 49. So you're going to work all 4 of these out. Once you're done, you'll hit play on the video, and I will work them all out to check and see if you got them work. So work all 4 of these out on your desk. Pause the video now and work them out. Alright, you should have them worked out by now. Let's check your work. So you have m plus 3 equals 12, so I'm going to write it smaller over here so I have room to write it. Work it out, equals 12. So I have to isolate the variable by doing the opposite function. So we're adding 3 here, so we've got to subtract 3 from both sides. Got that done. M comes down, equal sign comes down. 12 minus 3 is 9. Is 9 plus 3 equal to 12? And yes, it is. That answer works. So the answer number 1 is m equals 9. Number 2, we have t minus 12 equals 13. So we have to do the opposite here to get t by itself to isolate it. So we add 12 here. This cancels out, leaving t. Bring down my equal sign. 13 plus 12 is 3 plus 2 is 5. 1 plus 1 is 2. So t equals 25. To check it out, we put 25 back in the problem. So 25 minus 12 equals 13, and that is correct. It checks off. Alright, for number 3, we have w divided by 2 equals 14. So w divided by 2 equals 14. So I'm dividing by 2 here, so I have to do the opposite to isolate w. So multiply by 2, multiply by 2. These 2 cross out, leaving me with w, my equal sign, and 14 times 2 is 28. To check it out, let's say 28 divided by 2 equals 14. Is that correct? Yes, it is. So we're done there. So your answer for number 3 is w equals 28. For number 4, we have 7z equals 49. And make sure that you know that that's a z. It's not a 2, it's a z. So 7z equals 49. So I'm multiplying by 7 here, so I've got to divide to get rid of it. Divided by 7, divided by 7. These 2 cancel out, leaving me with z, the equal sign, and 49 divided by 7 is 7. So my answer here is z equals 7. Let's check it. Is 7 times 7 equal to 49? It is. So that checks off. So this is the type of problem you're going to be doing today. Most of the type that you're going to be doing today probably is going to be the addition, unless I decide to add in some of these if we're doing well. Easy stuff. This is probably what we'll be doing all week. So it's going to be an easy week. Make sure that you know the steps. If you know the steps, this is going to be an easy unit, easy grades, and not tough to do at all, and it's fairly fun. You'll be doing stuff like this for the rest of your math career. So good luck.